Little boy had leaves on his legs. Plant experts are going to cut it out. The scissors snapped when the scissors went down. You may not believe this. Timo grows children out of the dirt. It all starts with this couple. Jim and Cindy are an infertile couple. They couldn't do anything with all their medical techniques. Let them have their own children. The doctor advised them to give up, but they still have good hope. Will the future child's character and hobby development? Write it all down on paper and put it in a box. Dig a hole in the field, and planted the seed of hope. There was a thunderstorm in the yard at midnight. Watered the seeds they planted. What is there in the earth that is ready to rise? Jim was awakened by thunder and went downstairs to shut the door. Back in bed with his wife in his arms. But the wife showed up in the bathroom. A shadow flashed by. What? The bed was covered with dirt. They are in the same room. Found a child covered in dirt. That child was Timo. Jim was going to call the police and let them deal with the child. Cindy gave him a bath. I found something growing on him. Jim drew back the curtain and his jaw dropped. He went upstairs and found himself in Timo's lap. There were leaves. Cindy went to the backyard and found a big hole. All that's left of the wish box is dust. Then they understood the boy. It grows out of the ground. Jim sent the police away to fill in the hole in the backyard. Ghost chong chong closed the curtain. I didn't expect this little guy. Calling them mom and dad.
Mom. Really?
Years of wishes suddenly came true. The couple are a little uncomfortable. The next day they took Timo to the plant expert, trying to cut the leaves off his legs. But the scissors snapped, and the leaves remain unscathed. Timo was sent to school.
Have a great day.
I was bullied on the first day of school. Then Joni, a cold little beauty, came by. Timo was on a new continent. Joni came up and decorated him with a cherry. Timo seemed to enjoy the bullying. The couple came to school. I didn't expect to bully Timo. Turned out to be the son of Jim's boss at work. He had to bite the bullet and ask for justice. The boss's wife changed the subject. Invite Timo to our son's birthday party. Timo happily agreed. Party. Timo sees the girl again. And Joni was watching him. Timo's manhood went through the roof. He dived into the water and never came back. Joni saw something was wrong, and I jumped right in. Timo is meditating at the bottom of the pool because he can't swim. She came up to Timo and they were about to kiss. Joni turned to pull down Timo's stocking. The leaves on the legs were found. The secret of the leaves growing on your legs has been discovered. Timo kicked her out of the way. They float to the surface and Joni angrily leaves. She's been chasing Timo ever since.
I know my son. No. Why? You see.
Turns out she had a secret, too. She has a birthmark on her shoulder.
Coming? Okay.
So the two children with secrets became good friends. They rode from one end of town to the other. They said a happy goodbye and Timo was thrilled. Lying on the ground enjoying it all. What did he suddenly feel? He pulled down his sock and found that a leaf had fallen. He went home and hid the leaves in the envelope. Cindy's uncle is very ill and won't have long to stay in hospital. They prepared to leave so as not to disturb him. But uncle kept Timo. I didn't expect this little guy would make the old man so happy. Just then Timo dropped another leaf. As the leaves fall, my uncle's life was coming to an end. Jim rushed in and didn't want him to see it. Timo secretly hid the fallen leaves. The couple enrolled Timo in soccer classes. But emaciated Timo clearly had no talent for football. Oh my God. Timo was always with Joni. What are you doing? Cindy took Timo with her for the day to the pencil museum where she works. The boss paid a fortune for a self-portrait. But what does she think is missing? Timo said he could do one for her for free. The boss took out a pencil. Timo took her glasses off first and untie her hair. I didn't know Timo could sketch. What the boss thought was missing was a mustache. The painter didn't keep the beard, but Timo did. Just then Timo lost another leaf. That's what bosses want in their true selves. Boss, happy to let Cindy air her grievances. Cindy's mouth burst like a dam. She got fired from her job. for Timo's physical and mental health. She decided to talk to Joni. I didn't expect to find out by accident. They created such a wonderful world. Turns out Joni made Timo a better man. I was wrong. Timo sat on the bench all the time at the football game, but with a good heart. He has been delivering water to everyone. Back home Timo looked at the yellow leaves. He knew he was running out of time. The final game. Poor Timo followed with his bucket. The game was close. The score was tied 1-1. Just then a player was injured. Forced off the bench, Timo finally gets his chance to play. Timo came on as a substitute, but the coach made him stand still. There are only 2 minutes left in the game. Timo stood obediently where he was. The couple were worried. Joni watched him from a distance. Don't absorb the energy of the sun as it falls on the earth. He rose full of blood. Joni held up the sign. I support number 0's attention to detail. Joni had a 0 on her. 2. What a great encouragement. Then the football came to his feet. The opposing player prepares to tackle, but Timo quickly dodged. He dribbled across the court, quick and flowing. Cindy was bragging to her sisters about Timo. He always shows off his son when he wants to punch him in the face. What a great sister. Jim was thrilled to his father, who had never supported him. Talk about your childhood when you wanted support. Tim made a precise pass and a teammate threw the ball back to him. I saw him with a volley. The goalie couldn't stop it. The ball into the but he scored his own goal, handed victory to the other team. Timo took off his sock and he dropped another leaf. I had a bad day. The couple quarreled like cats and dogs. Timo came to the door and looked at the leaves. He was in tears. Timo came to end their argument. How is a pencil made? First prepare the plate refill. Start the machine to carve out grooves. The worker squeezes the plate with the filled pencil refill. After cutting, it becomes a semi-finished product. Then paint the pencil, followed by the eraser. After printing, a pencil production is completed. But the factory that makes pencils, orders are dwindling and continuous layoffs. It foreshadows the imminent bankruptcy of the factory. Timo says, why not make new pencils?
You can design it, and you can draw it, and you guys can both build it.
His words stimulated the couple's motivation. They just do the drawings and prepare the molds. Crush the leaves and pour the pulp into the mold. They created a new type of pencil. Jim handed the pencil to the boss. The rest is in God's hand. A factory convention was held in the town. The meeting was supposed to discuss the closure of the factory, but a miracle happened. The factory will not close. It might even get better. The boss brought out the new pencil made by Jim's family. It's new and environmentally friendly. Jim's family became the heroes who saved the factory, but the boss took all the credit. Timo was furious and begged for answers.
We didn't have it. The new pencil was thought of by my parents. Jim and Cindy agreed.
Then the owner of the pencil museum stepped forward. Ask factory owners why they use leaves. The boss couldn't tell why. Cindy said the idea of using leaves came from Timo, but she didn't say anything to protect him.
Because I have leaves in my legs.
To prove it, Timo has styled his pants, but there was only one leaf left on his leg. So beautiful. The people are full of hope for the future. Back home, Timo finally tells the truth about the leaf. His life will end when the leaves are gone. The last leaf fell to the ground.
Sweetie, you can't. It's nothing you did. It's how it's supposed to be. There's only so much time. Oh, let the kids grow up and move away. I lose my leaves and move on.
There is so much that we have left.
We're just starting to get good at this.
You're ready. Never give up.
A bolt of thunder shattered the light. Timo had disappeared. No one is born to be a parent. They get angry and helpless and make mistakes. But the only thing that won't happen is to stop loving us. Jim dug up the box. There's one more thing in there. The couple went to the adoption center, told Timo's story to the man in charge, and gave her the extra letter in the box. It's got a message from Timo and a leaf from him. He took every leaf that fell. It's all for the people he loves. The owner of the museum, football coach, the plant expert who cut his leaves, and Jim's father who didn't know how to show love. Timo's favorite Joni has 2 leaves. The adoption center sent in a little girl for adoption.
I'm come inside?
A whole new story is about to begin.